All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we got a little bit of breaking news happening right now, coming out of Second Wind, apparently. Now, this is something that I've been waiting for a while, because when a company is built on a house of cards, like Second Wind was, and that house of cards is going to get blown down by a rampaging force known as Nick Calandra, it was only a matter of time before this information came out. Well, apparently, according to a post that was made by Grums over on Twitter, Frost of Rivia, who is an employee at Second Wind, just resigned from the company, and not only did he just resign, but he completely destroyed Nick Calandra in his resignation letter that he posted just now on Twitter.
So long, gay boys!
So let's not waste any more time, guys. Let's get right into the video. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So the guy's name is Frost of Rivia, aka the other Frost, here on Twitter. And it says the following: I have resigned from Second Wind Group. I'll say more later, but I do want people to know where their money and support is going to in the meantime. Now, honestly, I kind of already knew all of this was going to happen because, like I said earlier in the video, man, Nick Calandra has been on a warpath over the last few months, and I know he's calmed down for the last couple of weeks because he was getting insane amount of backlash, and then he ended up going on Side Scrollers podcast to have a conversation with Craig, and Craig honestly just destroyed him most of the time. So again, this whole thing has been in the works, and it's not even just Frost that has quit. Somebody else in this company has quit too, but I'm going to make that for a separate video because all this is breaking at the same time. They quit at the same time, which tells me that this is a targeted thing. So it says, when I joined Second Wind Group, I was under the assumption that we were forming a team of creatives with equal value and equal say. Well, number one, that was pretty obvious that was never going to be a thing, right? Like, you're trying to do something like Second Wind. I highly doubt everybody's going to be equal value and equal say. That's some socialism shit. Like that's not going to happen. But anyway, let's continue. Individual creators would oversee their personal series, and the group would decide how to run the business together. It is plain as day that we have recreated the toxic corporate environment we abandoned, led by a petulant wannabe CEO. Whew, damn. Who overspends, overpromises, and underdelivers, sows division, tarnishes our image, asserts his creative vision, or rather creative blindness, and sabotages anyone's attempt to correct him, all while he fails his most basic duties, joyrides around the world, clout farms, and expects the community and Yahtzee to foot the bill because Nick Calandra tanks our YouTube revenue and makes us undesirable for sponsors. It is beyond incompetence. My God, did he just absolutely roast and destroy Nick Calandra in just one simple paragraph? That is amazing. But you know what? The problem is that when these people who leave the corporate mindset, right, they end up leaving the corporate mindset, but eventually what ends up happening is that, yeah, it's all fun and dandy when everybody's trying to pretend to be friends. It's all fun and dandy when everybody's trying to be best friends with each other, whatever. But at the end of the day, business has to take place, right? At some point in time, you got to make money. At some point in time, it has to be about business. And at some point in time, you're probably going to upset someone who was probably your friend at some point because you have to focus on business. That's just a normal thing. So now they're saying that the toxic corporate environment that they left has been created within Second Wind. Now, I can believe that. Considering how we see certain people from within Second Wind act, I can see how the toxic corporate environment is a thing over there. Especially if Nick Calandra is your co-founder, right? If he's your co-CEO or whatever, or main CEO, you got to imagine that it all starts from the top. So if your CEO is a piece of shit, chances are it's going to trickle down and it's going to affect everybody under him. But I do like the fact that he openly admitted that Nick Calandra not only is a narcissist, which, I mean, we already knew that. He wants to have complete control over the creative vision, but also the fact that he is sabotaging their YouTube ad revenue because of how he's acting online, and also the fact of his public perception, right? The company's public perception has gone into the shitter, along with Nick Calandra, who has also gone into the shitter because he wanted to go out there and have a crusade against somebody like Grooms and somebody like Smash JT. He wanted to take them down. He wanted to dox Grums. He wanted to have Smash JT lose his income. He kept going after these people, and he had his own personal tirade. Well, now it looks like that tirade has come back to bite him in the ass. It says Nick Calandra operates in bad faith to serve his ego, and this group lacks the attitude and processes to appropriately deal with inaction and inability to deliver the core capabilities of our roles. The board of directors lack a knowledgeable enough majority to see through, even as a most basic Google searchable errors in Nick's farcical directions, and use their personal feelings as a substitute for information, even when presented with dumbed down versions at their repeated requests. So it seems like Nick Calandra doesn't exactly know fully what he's doing, and everybody else under him doesn't exactly know what they're doing, even at a worse way. Like, it's sad because, again, this is what happens when you make a company with your supposed friends, right? You're making a company with your friends. You're not making a company with people who actually are should probably be there. You're not making a company with the most qualified people. You're making a company with your friends. So after a certain point, people are going to feel like they're carrying dead weight, and that's probably what this person felt like working at Second Wind. The rest of the owners have little knowledge of what's going on, and I don't fault them because that's the whole point of the culture of isolation. There aren't enough leads to once thinking there's a problem. The rest don't know of the problems. Therefore, there are no problems. All of my personal attempts to make Nick see reason are ignored. All of my attempts to make the leads aware of Nick's behavior are brushed off with minimal action. All of my attempts to raise concern for our systemic issues, which leads are put off until problems occur. I refuse to be subjected to this behavior any longer. I believe I've done everything in my power to address the issues for over 6 months, and I want no part in preying on the community's goodwill and Yahtzee's hard work simply because we can't run a business. At this rate, we don't deserve to run a business. Consider this my formal resignation, effective immediately. God, jeez, man. That last couple of lines right there is the death note to Second Wind, man. Holy crap. Now, we've been saying for a while that Second Wind is relying on the popularity of Yahtzee, right? Yahtzee essentially carries Second Wind through and through. Without Yahtzee, there really is no Second Wind. And this employee essentially proves that because they feel like they're taking advantage of Yahtzee's own fame and his own hard work, and they're just kind of, flipping the bill with Yahtzee. And that sucks. And I'm sure it must suck to work in that particular environment. So again, he's not happy being subjected to this stuff. He has apparently tried to talk to Nick Calandra. I highly doubt he probably was able to get through to Nick Calandra because we all have seen how Nick Calandra acts in the public. So you can only imagine how he acts in private. Can you imagine what it must be like to work for him in private? Yeah, it's probably a fucking shit show. So at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like this is going to be the house of cards finally coming down for a Second Wind. And honestly, it couldn't have happened to a better guy. Nick Calandra does not like gamers. Nick Calandra does not like people reporting about them. Nick Calandra is the kind of person that is so narcissistic that it has to always be about him. And at the end of the day, now guess what, Nick? These latest 2 employees that have quit, everything is about you now, my guys. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.